and you're negotiating that, right? And the conversations on the types of deals that you want to be able to have are a little different. You want to, you want to talk about things like, we don't talk about leaseback options. We don't talk about, seller finance with, a better down payment type of than, we're looking to get like sub 2 and seller finance with very low entry fee. That's not necessarily the case when you're looking at a retail buyer. They're going to end up putting probably a fair amount more down. Minimum probably 10%, 15% is likely what they're going to put.
It's still lower than anything else. Like we need to find people that are just not qualifying.
Well, see, in general, these are people that can buy a home, but for some reason they can't qualify conventionally. So they still have money. We don't necessarily want people buying houses that can't afford them.
Exactly. That's
right.
That's
like
exactly what
so that's why the conversation still needs to have, like, these are the guys that are like self-employed. The money they're making just doesn't qualify them. Maybe historically they've had like a bankruptcy a while back, or something like that happened, but they still have really good income. Or they're, some reason that they can't get this. And mortgage brokers, I'm hearing, they get like, some of these guys get, a few of these a week, up to, a few a month. So these are things that are happening, especially in this market. So if we can keep getting those locked down and make them incentivize the mortgage brokers, which we also like. So mortgage brokers and lenders care about the relationships with real estate agents and realtors. So we can't cut them out. So we have to work with them. Right?
Yeah. But I mean, it could be something, it's found money for them. So, I mean, if you're talking $100, $200, like, hey, send me your leads and you send me 10 and I'll pay you $200. Like, there's $2,000 that they've made just on things that are sitting in their trash.
That's absolutely true.
So we don't have to overpay them.
That's true. I do want to incentivize them, but honestly, in general, I don't want to pay them unless we close.
100%. Oh, absolutely.
So, and I want them to, feel like they're a little bit part of it. So providing them statuses on what's going on with it, when we get property locked down, that's something for them to be excited about.
Well, and they're going to have a list of people that are in loans that they can, change when they've had the house for a little while, and they would be the mortgage broker they'd go to.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, especially, that's one thing that they did mention to me. We have had a few mortgage brokers are like, well, I mean, if you get them locked up in something, creative, then I've lost a potential customer later on because they. I mean, I tell them, I said, well, I mean, these guys are still likely. I mean, they may end up moving, they may refinance.
Well, they're going to refinance. Their balloon is going to be, whatever. But at the end of their balloon, they'll need them, and so it's guaranteed future work.
Yeah, exactly, and they're going to work with them directly for that.
Yeah, and it's almost like starting a tequila company or a wine company where you've got to let it ferment for 2 or 3 years, and then once you've been doing it consistently, then from then on, it's just going to keep on going. So
yeah, so let's do that, Trent. We need a tequila wine company.
No, not for me.
Yeah. Okay. So these guys that are mentioning this, yeah. I mean, guys, if I can get a good property that's a good deal as well. In general, I'll take it under consideration. Yes, I mean, I will. At least $1,000 assignment fee I can pay you if you find the deal I'm looking for primary residence. That's easy. Yeah, it can be 1099. I don't care. I'll send you that. I'll send it to you directly over like Zelle or whatever. However you want it. But
what's your high end? How much do you want to go?
I mean, I would really like to keep my payment under $3,500 or at $3,500 or lower, but Mostly because I'm just not. I don't like having to pay a bunch of that. You try to keep it lower, especially if this is only going to be fairly temporary.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, then my purchase price I put in there at like 800, 900K. But I mean, if you were to manage to get like a $1.5 million property to accept $3,500 payments
Right.
a
It's
month, I
possible.
mean, I would consider it. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, if
But,
it's seller finance, you're not paying any interest. Everything's going right to the principal. So
yeah,
you'd be. I mean,
I'd be fine.
that's a
I'd be
piggy bank. I'd pay 10 grand a month.
fine.
I don't care. You know,
Yeah,
I get it all back. I'm not paying it.
exactly. So I'm fairly more flexible with the payments and the price, but it just needs to be 5 bedroom for the family. Um, you know, decent, at least 2,000 square feet. And then in the area we're looking at, somewhere around Albany, Oregon to Eugene during, that thoroughfare.
Perfect.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll keep you involved. You have yourself a great day and fantastic weekend.
You too, sir. Thanks for handing it off. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like handing it off to you. It's a good thing you come on this time. It's nice to hand off a warm group to you. So
Yeah, they're all warmed up and ready to. Today is going to be making phone calls. I'm going to make you guys that haven't made phone calls make phone calls live. We're going to do that because it is so much fun to watch people sweat.
get on it, guys. Yeah.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Later.
Okay, guys. So that's going to be most of our focus today. Let's focus on getting past those jittery, nervous, first phone calls. Getting on the phone calls, that's the most important thing. So let's see who's here. Let's get you guys on stage. Again, you guys get tired of hearing it, but no cussing in my live stream. If your camera's on when you're on stage, I will bring you up first. And turn off your mic when you come on stage, just so we don't have to listen to either your baby crying or your dog barking or the neighbors screaming at you or your wife screaming at you. Okay, so let's go to Thai Town. Why not? We like going to Thai Town. What's up?
Hey, thank you. I just spoke with you yesterday, and I sent you a quick note. I just want to follow up about that property. It's a little confusing for me still. I had told you that the income for this is a 7-unit. It's a 7-unit property in Houston that also has land connected to it. It's worth $150,000. Total, they're asking $950,000. I had told you that the income was $4,000. It was actually $7,000.
Right.
So it's $1,000 per property.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense. Okay, cool. So, send me the address again, did you?
Oh yeah, it's in.
Let me see.
If you
It's
look at
probably
our
still in.
direct message, I sent it in the direct. Did I? I think I did not send it. Okay.
Yeah, just resend it. So I get
Yes.
a gazillion
Of course. So,
because I'm super popular.
I know. Understandable.
Well, it's hard because when you're good looking, you just become.
I mean,
popular.
why your model career has it popped off yet? You still
Excuse me, has it popped off yet? It's been popping off in the last 40 years.
no one. Yeah.
Wait, I sense you didn't think I was a model. Whatever.
I mean, I thought you were too cool to be a model, but you just gotta do what you gotta do. It's all right.
All right, let's take a look here.
Yeah.
It was just mean spirited, just so you know. Thinking I'm not a model. Whatever. Okay. In my mind I am, so that's good. That's all that matters. Okay,
In our
good.
mind, you are. Yeah.
What's that?
In our minds, you are.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, if you could only see what I think I see. It's amazing.
Model wholesaler for sure.
All right, let's check this out. So good, because I remember when we were talking, I'm just like, something's missing here. Something doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let's see what we got. And what'd you find? Did it end up cash flowing pretty good?
me check my.
Because we were terrible,
Yeah.
and so with an extra $3,000, I would think that probably helps.
I was struggling a bit with the calculators again. Let me see if I got it.
Okay, and they had a mortgage or no mortgage? No mortgage. Okay.
Yeah, no mortgage. I was gonna, yeah, this is gonna be set up by once.
Okay, and this is somebody that has 15 properties.
And where do you see that? Is that in PropStream?
Yeah, in PropStream, there's a right where you go the mortgage transaction in history. There's also a link to properties, and so they're 3.2 million to the good. They've only got $500,000 in loans, and those linked properties shows that like for 11 years they've been doing this because they have 3 properties that are 10 months, 9 years, 11 months. Let's see, 5 years, 3 years. Oh, I was looking at the months. They were 11 months. So these guys might be a little bit new to this. So that's good too, because they might have made a mistake, and their mistake is potentially your assignment fee. So let's see. Yeah, and it's pretty clean, and it seems like everything in the area is kind of uniform because it's smashed in between those two. Like there's eight of those houses. Yeah, it's not bad. It's ugly, but it's simple.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you called the realtor?
I just called him to update the rent and I told him I'll call him back.
Okay. You got a report going with him?
I think so. He's responsive to my calls and texts.
Okay. How many days has it been on? Let's see. Okay, 129. So they're at a point of being hungry. What's the motivation for the sell?
Right. This one, I asked him about this. I think if I wrote it down in my notes. Let's see. Uh, I I think they said they just want to move on, that kind of thing. Like I got a vague kind of like they're just interested to move on to other things. I think is what I've been told.
Okay.
I can drill in if I need to.
Yeah, no, I think we should. Let me just see because it's so much easier to decide what you want to do with something like this. Once we know, oh, they need so much money for a down payment for a new property, or they really want to still be a landlord, but they don't want the responsibilities, blah, 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 blah.
Well, the only thing that was throwing me off, especially in terms of creating a direction with this, was that they said they were perfectly happy to sell the lot separate from the unit. And they're thinking about doing that. And then in that case, they would price the lot at 150 and the units at 800.
Okay. Yeah, because if they do that, that would kill it a little bit because, well, I guess not. It's completely separate. That lot is. So 850 is what they would take for the building, and then they want 150 for the lot?
800 for the 7 units,
okay.
And then 150 for the land.
Okay. So you're really close to this cash flowing. Let's see. Let's see.
If I make payments of 2,000, I'm getting a cash and cash return 28%.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that should be great. You should get a really good solid thing. Okay, yeah. I think your next step is to call them and say, hey, I'm really interested in this. I'm just trying to figure out, what I can offer. I've got several strategies, and I want to make sure I give you guys the right one. Obviously, cash is probably king on this. But I want to, you want to see if there's a way that you can find out what their needs are.
Is there any way I could offer cash?
Huh?
Is there any way I could offer cash? Offer cash? Is that possible?
Absolutely. That's going to be a part of this. Because what I would do is I would offer like $650 cash. So they're offended a little bit, and then come back and you could probably offer. I mean, if you can do $2,000 a month,
yeah.
If they accept $2,000 a month, you could offer their asking price.
You think I could offer more? Yeah, it looks like I could offer over their asking.
Yeah, but you want to start with just say the only way I can do your asking price is if you'd be willing to take a set of payments, and then they'll be like, send it over to me. Let me know what's going on. Because you'll cash flow $2,600 a month. Is that what you got?
Yeah. Right. If I go at their asking price, yes.
Yeah, at the
2,000 a month is what I got.
But I think it's going to be a shoot your shot, but you're going to have to really build up the rapport with the realtor.
Okay.
And make it a you and the realtor against the seller kind of a thing. Like, hey, let's not waste too much time with this. I think there's a potential of this being really good. But help me out. Give me a reason to give you guys an offer. Try that strategy, but talk to them more about it. Just like, hey, it looks very simple. Is it popular in the area? Has it been rented for a long time? Did he send you rent rolls at all?
Not yet. He said he was going to.
Okay, so press him up. Just say, hey,
Okay.
we're kind of hot to trot on this place, but we really need those rent rolls, and then open up the discussion to, why are they, is this something they fixed and flipped? What's taking them away from this place?
Yes.
Yeah, see what happens. Cool.
Okay.
I'm glad you found the actual rents. That's great.
Yeah, it's much more approachable.
Yeah. Yeah, could be good. Could be really good.
I'll do that.
Yeah, and so your offer, you want to make sure you stay right around like 7% down payment, and that $2,000 a month would be amazing. That's where I would say that's your highest offer, because that's how I am. I'm a little bit stingy.
Right. Which one's the highest?
I would say their asking price with 7% down, and $2,000 a month. I think that's super fair. All right, cool. Let me know how it goes.
All right, thanks, Trent.
Okay. Later, bro. All right, guys. Let's see. What's up, Spider Boy? Is it Spider Boy or Spider Boy?
It's the first one. Hi, Trent. How are you doing?
You're like, it's something I did when I was 12.
Yeah. I have a few questions, and I do have one deal that I would want you to give me some advice on.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'll start with the deal. First, I have contacted the agent. I've done everything. Oh, hello.
There's the little girl from yesterday. She's so cute. Okay, so what you got?
Yeah. So I contacted the agent, and she told me that the seller took the property off market because no one was buying it. And
good.
Yeah, so I made my seller finance offer, and
Okay.
the agent was like, "This is a scam. I'm not buying this." And then she messaged me and she's like, I want to check the validity of your offer. And so I sent her a message and an email with the credibility packet and everything. But
Okay.
is there anything else that I can do so that she can maybe trust us a little bit more, trust me a little bit more?
Yeah. It's one of those things. That's why building the rapport is so important. I go in with a lot of confidence every time I talk to somebody, and so I kind of run the show a little bit. Even realtors want confidence in these things, and so you got to build the confidence for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you come in and you're kind of like, and you're pretty like, all right, let's get this done. What's going on? They're going to be more like, oh, okay, this guy knows what's going on. Have you responded to her at all? Have you called her again?
I did. I have spoken to her twice, and then I
Okay.
sent in the offer.
Okay. And what was your offer?
My offer, let me pull it up for you. Okay, so the listing price was 360, and I offered 400,000 on set of monthly payments of $550. Do you want me to send you a screenshot?
No, I think that's perfect. That's all I needed to know. And what's it rent for?
It's renting out for 2,200.
Great. No, good numbers. Really good numbers.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Did you mention an interest rate at all?
No, 0%.
Okay. So another tactic when somebody says, I just need a legitimacy, and say, oh, I get that all the time. I know this sounds scammy. It's just a better way of doing things. It allows us to get into the property easily, and it allows your seller to actually have a monthly income and kind of still be a landlord, but not have to do any of the dirty work.
Yeah.
And so the more you agree with a realtor, like, you're a scammer, I totally get that. That makes total sense to me, because it does sound scammy. When I first heard it, when somebody, I agree with you. That's totally scammy. And it's, what can I do for you to prove my legitimacy? But, I totally get it. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. It's the ones that are like, I'm not a scam. What are you talking about, lady? Yeah. Then they're like, okay, bye-bye. So yeah, just try to agree with her as much as possible, but follow up with her, and just say, hey, and if she brings up any of the negative stuff, agree with her all the time.
Okay.
Anything she says. Yeah, that's such a good point, and this is why,
Yeah. Okay.
But good, your numbers are good. And the reason I know your numbers are good just by hearing the numbers is, what was your down payment?
My down payment is 30,600.
So 10%?
That's 7%. That's 7.65.
7%, yeah. Bro, you're hitting it on all cylinders. Yeah, you're 25% of the rents, which is great. That's just a general, like, if you can get there. 7% down payments, insane. And you can almost go wherever you want to on the purchase price. It almost doesn't matter if you're for sure you got the 0%.
Yeah.
I think you're in a great spot. Maybe call her and just say, hey, can I send over is she sending you anything? Is she going to send you rent rolls or anything?
No, she hasn't sent me anything yet. But right now, I've just sent her the offer. In terms of sending each other things, I've sent her the offer.
Yeah.
And she
Okay.
just did not accept the fact that it's legitimate offer.
Yeah. Okay. And so now you make a phone call and say, hey, I sent over why? Did she respond to you and said, no, you're a scam?
Well, she did message me that I've seen offers like this before and it's a scam. And then she messaged me as well on my number, and she was like, I need to see, I need to know the legitimacy of your offer. Please bear with me. And I'm using an app to call. And so she ran my number through like a background check or something, and she found nothing. And so she got even more suspicious.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, and you can say that, what does she think you are? An investor, an acquisition manager, an underwriter?
I introduced myself as an investor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. We can talk about it, and you can say, "Hey, I've got a partner. You use my name, Trent Cameraman. Look him up and I can have him call you at any time, and we can set up a call to the realtor. And what's nice is I've got a website for my other business, and so I'm just an investor in that regard. That's why. I mean, I've got a real estate website, but it's kind of I don't like it. So yeah, I mean that's another way. And I can change your mind about the legitimacy. The one thing you might have going against you is your accent. You've got a tiny accent, and so they're going to be like, "Oh, geez, okay, here we go again."
I get that.
So that might be the only thing that's working against you, honestly, and it sucks, but it's just the way of the world.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so can I just introduce you as my partner, and then maybe I can
Absolutely.
message you on Discord,
Yeah.
and then we can set up a time.
So send her to my. I mean, you just say that you work with me. You don't say you work for me. We're partners on this, and you can send. It's a great way to get credibility because my website's been up forever, but I haven't changed it, so it's kind of old stuff. But here, I'll send it to the. And it's my production website, my television production website. And so a lot of people way more credibility than I deserve because of it. So it's 800 and then my last name.
Okay.
Let me give you a link. And that sometimes helps. I use it a lot. Just people kind of like to see that you've got an actual business. Make sure it's.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay, I'm going to give you the link too, just to make life easier. Okay, there's the link.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, take it easy.
I have a few more questions though. I'm so sorry
What?
if I'm taking
Okay.
up your time. Okay,
You
so
were the one signing up.
I have called a few agents, but I feel like I'm just hitting them on like a surface level. How do I dig in deeper into their skin and be like, you need this deal? Like, this is the best thing that you've ever seen.
Well, first of all, you don't want to oversell it. You want to get to be friends with them. That's the main thing. So when all my calls are, "Hey, what's going on?" And then I'll just because of my personality, I'll make fun of something like, "Holy crap, who thought that, giant velvet painting of Elvis was important to, have in there?" And so I connect on that level. Because all the other wholesalers are numbers, 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 numbers. They just go right for it. And so if you can come in and just if I were talking to you, I'd be like, "Oh, it looks like you're in a locker room or something." Anything I can say, and it's like, "Oh, what kind of guitar is that?" If we were talking like that, I'll pick out little things, and it gives you something that's personal to you that you can talk about to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, even me talking about your accent, that's kind of a personal thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
A lot of people would shy away from that because they're like, "That's rude." I'm like, "No, that's the case." That's just how it is. And so people put things in their head, and I'm like, "Nope, that is the case. This is our world. This is, we're all victims of something." Everybody looks at me and they think, "Oh, he's probably a big dumb jock," and I'm like, "Well, two of those are right. I was never a jock though. So big and dumb is right." But it's one of those things where if you can bring personality out of the realtor.
Yeah.
Another easy one is, "Oh, my mom's name was Joanne," or whatever. Like, "Oh, this is kind of serendipitous," or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, I use their Zillow listing to pull questions out because they wrote that Zillow listing usually.
Okay.
And so you can just be like, "Oh yeah, it looks like this stuff is close to shopping. Is it walkable? Can I walk there from that kind of stuff?"
Okay. All right. One last thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I was I was looking at the checkmate pitch, and whenever we do that, we tell them that, okay, this is what we can offer you in cash, but this will not work for us because we can't get it approved from our lender. How do we pull those numbers? How do we make that cash offer in the first place?
Okay, so the cash offers are usually just out of your, pulling out of a hat. I like to do 50%.
Okay.
So it's really obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But when you run your numbers on something that's not cash flowing and show how, hey, you've got this investment and I know it's important to you, but not so important because you want to sell it. But I can't even buy it if I spent cash on this because it doesn't cash flow. So help me figure out a way to make this cash flow. And then your suggestion is, the way we can do this is if you do seller finance with me and you put my numbers down to whatever, then I can at least cash flow $300 or $400 a month. You get to still be a landlord basically, but you're just dealing with the good stuff, the money each month, and that just comes in. Otherwise, this is unsellable because no investor is going to come in and buy something that doesn't cash flow. So there's no reason for them to. So we got to get it to a point where it can cash flow, and you still win because in 8-10 years we'll balloon you out. And you'll make that money that you feel like you deserve for this place, but that's the only way it's going to happen.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try that next time. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Oh wait, what? You got another one?
No, I'm good now. Thank you.
All right, bro. Okay, see ya. Okay, let me bring everybody. I'm gonna go through you guys so I don't get you out of order. Mitch, what's up? You're on mute, just so you know.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Yep.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Nothing. I just have a couple of pretty rudimentary questions for you. I'm kind of getting started into this. So
I've got one question for you.
Sure.
How many realtors have you called today? Yesterday. It's called yesterday.
Yesterday I called 2.
Okay, so just do 10 times that many, and things are going to be way better for you.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. That's what I want to get into doing. And I also do I do remote sales. So I've done cold calls before.
It's a whole different deal, man. Yeah,
I know.
It's like because what's happening for you inside your brain, and I can already see it on your face, is you're like, I don't know what to say. What do I tell them? What do I say? Right.
Right.
It's always the hard thing because you get on the phone and you're like, hi, realtor. I have nothing to say to you. So what I like to teach is what to say for those first calls. And I do an exercise where you call anything. I don't care. We're not going to go after it. Call a $10 million home, call anything you want. But I want you to just find out from the realtor why the person's selling, what their motivation is for selling. That's it for the first 20 calls. It gives you a nice, easy way to get on the phone and start getting those reps in. And so this is like anything else. It's like riding a bike. You gotta get through it because on each of those calls, you're gonna learn a little something new. You're gonna see, oh wow, this lady's really mean, and you're gonna develop a way of dealing with that. Right. And you can be snarky, but I want you to practice all those things with these, so she's mean and you go, wow, rough day so far, which is kind of snarky. You can be like, hey, it sounds like I might have caught you at a bad time. Can I call you later? Because I like this house on, Pine Street. And so anything you can do is going to be repeatable. There we go.
Right.
So that's why I want you to make those phone calls.
Okay.
And all you're looking for, 100%, all you're looking for is why they're selling. And it could be something you just do it right out of the gate. Like, hey, why are they selling? What's the deal? And the realtor, more times than not, is going to push back and be like, why? What are you, an investor? Are you a wholesaler? What's going on? Or you come in and you're like, hey, I saw that it's got a fountain in the back and isn't that a cherub, that little angel on top? Like, you don't care. You're just trying to get them talking.
Yeah, build some rapport with them.
Build the rapport. And so during that rapport building, when you get to the end, then you ask them. So, anyhow, why are these guys even leaving this place? It seems pretty nice. Oh, they're getting in the military. They got they got a new job being a zookeeper in Cincinnati, or, whatever it is. Again, you don't really care about that. You care about building a friendship with the realtor. Okay?
Right.
And do as much content as you can. So shoot yourself struggling through this stuff, because I see your phone stand over there, and so it sounds like you do content.
I got my Yeti mic. I got it. I could do it.
Yeah. So okay. So what are your questions? I totally beat you up there too early.
No, that's totally fine. I think it's really useful for me and everyone else listening who hasn't done it yet. My main thing that I'm running into is that I think like a lot of the terminology, and so what I've been doing is running through that terminology sheet and just clearing like up all the words and fully understanding them, because that's another thing I run into is when I'm talking to the realtor. Like I want to do multifamily just because people are more familiar with that, and I also wanted to know your advice on that. Should I just start with like single doors?
Why not
start with single?
No, go multifamily. You get 5 times, 4 times the rent. Definitely go with multifamily.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and so you're running into a thing where they say, oh, well, this one's FSBO. And you're like, oh, frick, what's FSBO, right?
Yeah, and then I just look like a total dummy.
Okay.
Which I am.
Or lean into it.
Yeah.
You can lean into it. Like, hey, I'm really new at this. What is FSBO? Like, what's that mean? Is that a part of, And then they're like, oh, you're new to this. Well, here, let me help you out. FSBO is for sale by owner. It's such a simple thing, but it seems so big. Like, it's my favorite term because it seems so much more than what it is. You know what I mean? Right. And pity, like, oh, what's the pity? What's the PITI on this?
Yeah,
and you're like,
I learned that one.
Freaking know, but at the beginning you don't know these things. So lean on the realtor. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of new at this. You kind of caught me. What is that? They are gonna love you because they're like, oh, sweet, this guy's not gonna try to talk above me. And the second you try that, they know you're full of crap because you're using. You're like, I'd like to offer a FSBO here, and they're like, nope, you don't, because you don't know what you're talking about, and they hang up on you. So don't try to be smarter than the realtor, and be okay asking what things mean.
Right.
So that gets rid of any kind of nervousness about asking, about them schooling you on something. They're the expert. Know that, and be okay with it, and lean into it.
Okay, good. That's basically it. Yeah, I just, the terminology is one thing for me, which I literally have on my plan to do today. Just learn all 21 pages of the terminology.
No, don't worry about it. You'll learn it as you go. It's a new language. Have you ever traveled somewhere, out of the country, like somewhere where all they do is speak Spanish or Japanese or whatever?
Dinners with my girlfriend's family is the explanation for that. They all speak Hebrew, so.
They speak Hebrew?
Yeah, it's like completely foreign to me. We're all at dinner and they're just like, blah, 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 blah.
Right. But I guarantee you know more words in Hebrew now than when you first started dating, right? So this is a new language is all it is. And so get in there and they're going to teach you all the words as you're going, because you're going to be like, hey, tell me what that means. I'm sorry. I'm so new to this and I really don't know.
Right.
So it's the same way you do with your girlfriend's family.
Yeah. Okay. Just call.
You're like, okay, you guys are all laughing. What'd you just say? It's like.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's why the calls are so important. So I want you to do 20 calls. Doesn't matter numbers, anything like that. The next step after this will be, I'll teach you how to throw numbers into it, because it's a really simple system. You just ask them what the motivation is. You find them about motivation. And then you tell them, you know what, I'm going to give you a call back in a couple hours. I'm going to run some numbers and see what I can do. Then zero pressure. You can go, you can use a calculator, you can look up terms, whatever it is.
Right.
But the most important part is you gain credibility because you're calling the realtor back.
Yeah.
And the realtor's like, holy crap, Mitch is calling me back. Okay, he must be pretty serious about this.
Right.
Okay. So you go to the top of the class. You know, they now know Mitch, and you can tease them about whatever it is that you didn't know the last time. Like, oh, thank you for telling me about PITI, or thank you so much for telling me what amortization is, and you know, any of that is a way to go
really
back.
easy to work with, stuff like that.
Right. Those kind of things are huge. Thank you so much for holding my hand through this, because I'm a moron. If the more you kind of make yourself not the authority, I think it's better, because you've got a lot of guys that will come in and be like, okay, yeah, I'm an acquisitions manager, and you know, but then they start using the wrong terms. And so the realtor's like, nope, you're not an acquisition manager, 100%.
Right. Yeah, and then you kind of have to, like, it's a little bit of a butting heads that happens.
Oh, it's a total, but like a great example is I have people I've got a video production company, and I'll get a call and like, hey, you know, I want to apply for a photography job with you guys. I'm like, oh, great. What cameras do you use? So for me, all I need to know is what cameras they use, because we use $180,000 cameras. And if they say, oh yeah, I use a Canon GL1, you know, and that's kind of a YouTuber camera, I'm like, or an FX9, which is shite. I know everybody uses them, but they're terrible. But that's right away, I can tell you what kind of person that is, where they're at, all that stuff. They can, and then if I ask them what their day rate is, then I know everything about, you know, okay, this is all they're expecting. They're probably 2 years into this. But that's what the realtor's getting from you when you start trying to be smart. Because I work around athletes a lot. Like we do a lot of stuff with athletes, and this can be an athlete that's making $40 million a year, and he is using terms completely wrong during the interviews, and you're like, okay, this guy didn't graduate high school. You know, he went right into the NBA. He's like, you know, all those kind of things. So you don't want to out yourself, and that would be outing yourself. That was kind of my whole point. Took a little while to get there, but
no, I like it. I enjoy the banter. Okay, cool. So just make calls, lean on the realtor, and
20 calls.
Keep making calls. Okay.
I don't care. Now, the very last question you ask on these practice calls is, hey, do you have anything else that is interesting or has a weird, you know, something weird about it that needs, you know, a problem solved? Because that's what we do. We really like to find, you know, those properties that have been on market for a long time, and, you know, that people are really motivated to move on, because they might say, oh, these people just want cash. They want cash, and they want exactly what they're offering, and that's it. They don't want to mess around. And that's when you pivot and you say, well, is there anything else you have? They're called pocket listings, because they're listings that they have that they haven't put on the market yet. Anything like that? I would say 90% of my that I've bought and that I've sold are pocket listings. They're not even about the one that I called about.
Okay, so you just build rapport with them, and then towards the end, once you guys have like a nice conversation, if that deal's not going to work out, you just kind of prospect and be like, hey, is there anything else, you know, that might be interesting that you're getting ready to list or something?
So just mark down some bullet points. So when you get to that awkward silence, you have something to say.
Right. Okay. It's been very informative. I really appreciate it, Trent.
Good. No, I'm glad. I really want to hear back from you. Like, tell me how it went. I'm live again tomorrow, 8 to 10.
Okay.
Come into the live and let's go over it. But if I mean, we're here for an hour and 45 more, or an hour and 15 minutes more. Come back at the end and just be like, hey, this is what happened. I want to hear, because I want to report, and I want to see you in that amount of time. You could do all 20, no problem.
Oh yeah.
If they don't answer, move on, because we don't care about these.
It's honestly just me, it's just me kind of like, it's the whole like, because I'm good on the phone too. It's just the whole like, just do it and not confidence. Yeah. I'm just not fully certain in what I'm going to talk about. So I'm just like, oh, maybe I'll call tomorrow. You know?
Exactly. And you've been doing that for how long?
Well, longer than I'd care to admit.
Which is?
Probably like 3 months or so.
Okay. Why?
Yeah, I know. I'm getting
You
too
ready for this?
significant and then also not calling.
Right. And so we have one person who was in here for 4 years. She referred to herself as a wholesaler. And I'm like, okay, so let me, tell me how everything's been working out. Well, I haven't made my first call yet. 4 years.
That's
so
wild.
You're fine.
Okay.
You're
That makes me feel a little bit better. Still, I'm like, I should have called like 4 months ago.
But why focus on that? I want you guys to start realizing that your thoughts are your actions. I mean, it's when you think about things and you're down on yourself and because you think about that so much, that's what you do every day.
Yeah.
And you've done it every day for 3 months because that's what you're thinking about. Now think about, I'm going to have fun with this and just meet some new people.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're in sales. You can do it. You've done that.
Yeah.
But it's about consistency, guys. You've got to be consistent.
Right. Okay, good.
Because
I'm gonna make
you're training yourself. You'll kill it.
Yeah, it's really just like do those calls and just get familiar with it, and then it just kind of goes away probably. Just as anything does,
100%. Yeah. I mean, have you ever bungee jumped?
Yeah.
Okay. So you remember getting up there, and there's an argument that your mind's having with your feet, and you're like, nope, I'm going. Nope,
Right.
I'm not. I am going. But the second you committed, there was no looking back.
Right.
And when you finished, you were on cloud 9. You could have picked up a car. You were the man for the next 20 minutes. So do that.
Yeah.
Let's have fun. Like, make this fun. You decided to be in here. Okay. You chose to be here. Nobody's forcing you to be here. You're deciding, hey, I'm going to be my own man now. I'm going to do this. And so now let's just do it. That's all that's left. So I'll give you little like projects you need to do as we go along, and they'll incrementally change. But do those 20 calls. If you get through 15 of them before we go off, please at the end come in and raise your hand. I'll leave you on stage, and just wave to me if you have anything to tell me about, because I want to hear that you're doing it. So I'm going to leave you on. I'm going to see you on the phone, and if I look over and I see that you're not on the phone, I'm going to lose my crap on you.
You just be like, hey, Mitch, what are you doing, man? Okay.
Exactly. Like,
all right, I'll get into it. I'll leave my camera on too.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thank you, Trent. I appreciate you, man.
All right, take it easy. Who found my LinkedIn? That's hilarious. That is so funny.
I thought you might get a kick out of that.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
When you were talking about your website, I Googled Cameron instead of your actual last name, which I discovered afterward. That's what came up.
That's so funny. All right, what's going on, Andrew? That's a good way to get noticed.
Yeah, I got some irons in the fire, got some things cooking. I will say, if anybody's having a hard time making calls, go call like plumbers and try to sell them marketing services or leads, and then make calls to real estate agents, and you'll be like, it's nice.
This is easy. I'm not talking to morons.
Yeah, well, no, not even that. Just like they're like, they get marketing calls all day long, and so they just as soon as they
I don't want to deal with it.
Click, it's brutal.
Yeah, when they're plumbers, they just want to drink beer and watch football.
Yeah, but then you call a realtor and you're like, hey, I'll buy your property, get your commission paid, and they're like, oh, okay, let's talk.
Yeah, you're making them money.
Totally.
That's the best part.
For sure. So made a few calls. I got some irons in the fire. I sent out my first offer yesterday. Waiting to hear back on that. But I got a question about something else. I called a realtor and asked him like if his seller would be open to creative. It's a multifamily, it's listed at 170. Both units are rented for $1,200, so checks out on your 1% rule. He got back to me and said that the seller's not willing to hold a note, but he has another duplex at a similar price point and rented for the same amount that he'd probably be willing to let go of. He said between you and me, like 280, he'd be willing to let go of him, which is like 80% of asking. So I'm wondering if I could come in a little lower and offer cash.
Okay, this is a perfect. So I want to make sure you don't use the word seller financing ever, because I want you to finesse the people. Okay, good. We were just I never know when we're talking shop or we're talking what you actually told the guy. Because you can come in with a low cash offer, but then pivot to a higher seller finance offer. So if it's 280, say, hey, how do you feel about this? How about I go 300? Would that be something that would interest your seller? And all these things are baiting him. They're like, you want to draw him in and let him, let him ask you questions. And he's going to be like, wait a minute, we're asking 280 and you want to pay 300? And you say, yeah, is that possible? Is that something they would want? And he'd be like, okay, what's the catch? Tell me more. And you say, we do this to incentivize the seller to take a set of payments. And so we don't say, we want them to hold the note and have all the responsibility, but we're going to just walk into their house. It's like we're kind of guiding him along and saying, so is that even something that would interest him? The seller?
Mm-hmm.
Let him kind of take it from then. And even better is if he makes it his idea. Like, hey, you could talk to your seller and just say that you came up with an idea and you take credit for it and see what he thinks. Because then you're attaching credibility to the idea because he's the one that's suggesting it and acting like it's his idea. Okay?
Right.
So now the seller is looking at it and going, oh, well, John, my realtor, decided, that this might be a good idea and that's his job is to keep an eye on me. So, yeah, let's look into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all these things are very low played. So, and guiding them. The low cash offer is an anchor. So we're saying, hey, I think your place is worth, what was it, 380, 280?
List price for both properties would be 350. He said that the seller would probably be willing to part with them for 280.
Okay, and so you tell him 240 or even 200 and say, hey, I looked at it. The most I can get my lender to let me do on a cash price is 200. And he'll be like, "Oh no, that's not good. We're not doing that. I told you already. He'll drop it down to 280." And say, "Okay. Well, what about this?" And then offer 20,000 more.
Right. Okay.
And now you're offering 20,000 more than the 280, not his purchase price, like not the big number. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already told you 280 is his price.
Right.
So no matter what he was asking for. The second he tells you what his price is, that's where we're starting from now. We ignore that other price.
Okay. Yeah, because
okay.
I don't think he's going to be open to it. He seems like he's more open to a cash offer. Because I
sure.
I think
everybody is
like 195 on the property that was listed at 170, and he wouldn't.
Okay.
He straight. The guy actually was super nice. I called him up and I explained to him, like, would he be willing to take a set of payments? And he was like, oh, like a creative offer. This is great. I do this all the time when I buy property. So he was very savvy, and it was kind of fun, actually. This was after we spoke on Wednesday, and he was like, yeah, clearly you know what you're talking about. We should like do more work together. I was like, dude, you're like the third realtor I've called. It's kind of funny. But
when you open yourself up like that, it's huge. That's a great thing because now he's like, oh, sweet, this guy, we're connecting. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll go back in and offer then. He did seem pretty strong and like the seller's not willing to hold a note, like just blanket, but like you said, everything's negotiable. So I'll see what I can do.
Good.
I had another question. I talked to a realtor yesterday on a property that's actually real close to me, and I can drop you the link. And the numbers I'm seeing on a creative offer look like stupid good. Like I'm wondering if I'm doing something wrong here, actually.
Absolutely. Well, those are the ones I like. Like when you're that, like, wait a minute, why, what? So
Yeah.
either we're gonna find the reason, or it's actually gonna be a good deal.
Let me drop this to you.
All right.
Oh, and I got your DM yesterday too. I'll get back to you on linking up.
Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be great. Thanks.
I plugged
Because
in.
I want to help
I plugged in.
push. I want to help push this out to more people. Hold my hand,
Sure.
and so
So this property, I plugged
that's
in
what I want for the advertising there in a little bit.
some numbers, and I found it was giving me like a 60% cash on cash, which seems ridiculous. But
Might not be. Let's see. So 134. Quick numbers. We're going to do the quick numbers. 44 days on market and 1188. We'll call that $1,000 for rent. So we're not horribly off. I mean, we want it to be around 1,300 for rent. I'm going to call it 1,000 just because we're going to take it out. Is that right? Am I on the right one?
For rent, so I talked to the realtor. She told me that one side is rented Section 8 for $750, but the actual Section 8 rent for that zip code is like $1,040 or something. So that could be increased, and everything's month to month. And then the other side is currently rented for $750, but she told me could easily get like $1,200. It's a 3-bed.
Okay. So we always figure on the very lowest possible rent price, minus 20%. Okay, because we always have to figure that in. So she's saying 1,500 basically for both sides total.
Yeah.
Okay, 750 each. We'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's call that. Let's call it 1,300, just so we have some room. Okay. Let's see. So, all right. Okay, so we're gonna say and the purchase price was 134. Where are you at on the purchase price?
I mean, based on the numbers I was seeing, and well, I was figuring in like an increased rent because the woman who owns it is 80 years old and she just doesn't like she hasn't increased rent in like 10 years or something.
Yeah, that's usually the case. So what?
So
why is she getting rid of it? Just because she's 80 and she's over it?
Yeah, just looking to liquidate. She had 5 properties, and this is the last one that hasn't sold yet.
All right, just one second. Let me see. Okay, and so what are you going to offer?
I was thinking like 150.
Oh, on a set of payments?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I think you're in a great spot. So let's do this. Let's do an $80,000 cash price. Okay. Do we feel like it needs any kind of rehab?
Work.
Yeah.
I asked her. Said that it could probably use some paint in a couple spots, but otherwise mechanicals are good, roof is good, stuff like that. But I specifically asked her about the roof because the one picture looks like it could be in a little bit of a rough shape, but
okay. Let's see. So I'm trying to find you again. Where are you? There you are. Okay, it is in New York. Okay. Yeah, and it looks, I mean, And everything's rented right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it ain't fancy, but it's solid. Yeah,
Right. That's
let's do that cash offer. Kind of pivot to your seller finance at 150. I think is great.
okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's a solid
Yeah, I mean, I put in some
solid offer.
basic numbers.
What are you thinking for? What are you thinking for payments to her?
So I put in Richard's calculator here: 12 down, 400 a month, 8-year balloon. That's given me 1,300 a month rent. That's given me. Oh, actually, that's low. Whoops. My numbers are off. It's 700 and 750, so that's 1,450.
Yeah.
So with those numbers, I'm looking at a 35% cash on cash. And that's before that 3-bedroom gets raised from 750 to 1,100 or 1,200, which I comped out and looks like is totally reasonable.
Okay. And that's future money. That's not money we're gonna,
Sure.
because if we're selling to somebody, we got to get it to that. I mean, there's that.
Cash with conservative numbers. I mean,
Yeah, I think you're fine. I mean, it does need, like, the bathroom needs a little bit of a renovation or just a big time cleanup. Yeah, I back it. I think that's a good offer.
okay, cool.
Because again, the reason we don't comp on the potential rent is you've got renters in there now. The cost of getting a renter is the first month. You lose that month. You potentially can lose 2 months because they move out and nobody's right there to move in. So it might
Right.
sit for a month. And so that's why sometimes people don't kick people out. And also a lot of the older landlords end up really liking their tenants. I'm not gonna soak them anymore. So there's a lot of expenses in getting new renters.
Right.
So
Actually, I'm recalling our conversation now. I forgot to put this in my notes, but she did say that the people in the side that should be higher in rent, the 3-bedroom side, are moving out in June.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's gonna be your time to do it, and you'll have time. You'll probably take a month to clean it up and make it nice and do all that stuff. Yeah, so that's, as far as a buyer, that's the way the buyer's thinking, because there's that potential. Excuse me. Yeah, give it a go and let me know what happens. That's solid.
Yeah, we'll do. All right, I won't take up any more time. I'll let somebody else get up here. Thanks, man.
All right, good stuff.
And I'll reach out
All
about
right.
setting up a time for next week.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Did I send you my Calendly?
You did not. That would be even
I'm
easier.
gonna send you. I've got a real estate one, and I'll just send you my personal one, so you don't have to put in a property address or anything.
Okay, deal. And I contacted
just
the
put
sheriff.
on.
Go ahead.
Oh, good. Hang on. Whenever I open my chat, everything slows down.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, that was my bad. Whenever I open my chat, it always brings me up.
No worries.
All right. Okay, so let me send you this. Sorry, it's taking me long. Okay. I'll send that to you. Yeah, we'll talk about that because I'd really, I want to figure out a better way to market Hold My Hand wholesale.
Yeah, I
There
definitely
you
got some
go.
ideas for it.
I figured you would. Okay, perfect. Thanks, bro. Take it easy.
Yeah, I contacted Bashir too, so I'm gonna link up with you there as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think today's probably pretty full, but tomorrow I'm open, so we can actually do it together. Like that'd be great.
Awesome. Right. All right.
All right. Thanks for doing that. That's really nice of you.
Yeah, totally. Cheers, my friend.
He is a good dude. Okay. Hey, Anson, come back up here. Thanks, Andrew. See you later. Anson, we got to talk about your deal. Anson. Did you just fall asleep after your juice box? Where is he? Sorry, guys. I know Anson's been antsy about. Okay. Anson, where are you? Hang on 2 seconds, you guys. I need to talk to him real quick. He's got a. Okay. No Anson. All right. Joseph, what's going on?
What's up, Trent? Trent, man, you're a funny guy. Like I'm listening to all these calls every day, and I'm like, this guy's hilarious.
Oh shoot! This little girl just popped up. Let me talk to her real quick. Anson, I can't hear you. It's kind of nice. I can't hear you. Pop out and pop back in. It might fix it, but I don't hear you. Kind of great. Sorry, Joseph. Let's see if he fixes his audio. Talk to me, Anson. Talk to me, Anson. Oh, you're gonna have to turn it all the way off. You like go all the way out, turn Discord complete, like restart, blah blah blah. Okay, I'll let you do that, and I'll talk to Joseph real quick. Okay, Joseph, what's going on?
What's your approach to finding to getting the agent to finding motivation? Because I'm building rapport, having good conversations, but do you just dive into like, okay, what's got them looking like? What's got them interested in selling?
Yeah, so it's going to be one of those things where you're just like, talking about everything, and it's like, well, why would these guys, why would the seller leave this place? That's a good one. Can you give me more information on what's going on in their head so I can kind of, make a. And so once you build that rapport, sometimes they tell you without you even trying. Like they'll just be like,
for sure.
Well, they're joining the Marines and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, sweet. This just dropped in my lap. The rapport is everything because you want them to trust you. And
it's the dry and deadpan ones, I guess. But you're right. I remember conversations like, seller's out of state. And yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And so that's the good stuff. When you can find out what's going on, because sometimes their motivation has nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she owns this with her ex-husband and she just wants this out of, like, she doesn't want to deal with it anymore and blah, blah, blah. So it really is case by case. And it's just being really kind and nice to them, joking around with them a little bit, and just get them comfortable with you. That's the most important.
Okay. How do I determine a cash offer for multifamily? Like
I do 50%. I do 50%. Everybody else does. Oh, Anson, you're back. I do. Hang on 2 seconds.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah.
Hang tight for 2 seconds. I do 50% of what they're asking because I don't know if you've ever bought and sold your own home. You're kind of like, okay, my home's worth $300,000, but let's see what happens. I'm going to put it up to $330,000. And so when they list it, they're just picking an arbitrary number. They're not doing any like, oh, let's see what's our ARV and and this is exactly what we can get. They're always going high. That's why I go to 50% on cash deals.
Okay. You're switching to Anson, or I still got more time?
Okay, cool. Hey, Anson. How are you, ma'am?
Bonjour. Hello, hola.
Biento. Nigawaru Paruski.
No hablo español.
Hablo. Okay, so are you talking with your buyer that for that 0%?
Wait, I
I
don't have
texted
his number
you
yet.
so you guys could be together. So definitely keep me in on that text chain just so I can keep things rolling.
Wait, what? I don't have it yet.
He's got a ton of things going on, and so yeah,
I
just
don't
be
have
patient.
it yet. Yeah, I don't have it yet.
You don't have the text
Yeah,
message?
Yeah, I don't.
Yes, you do. You responded.
I did? What? I don't.
I think so. Uh. Okay. Did you get that one? Oh, I heard it.
Wait, in Discord or?
No. In like text message to your 5712 number.
No, I don't have it yet.
Where we were talking earlier on the battleship number.
Battleship number? Yeah, I don't have it yet. That's weird.
Isn't that the one that you always are asking me to play Battleship, which I'll never play? Oh, maybe I sent it to the wrong one. Let's see. Uh-oh. I might have sent it to the wrong one.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Uh-oh, because it should come up your name. Can't believe it was my fault. That's weird. Stand by.
Which is why we need to play Battleship to settle it once and for all.
Never gonna happen.
Always gonna happen.
Hold on, let's see. Sorry about this.
No worries.
That's what you get when you're old. Okay, let's see. Add member. Weird. There we go. This again. Did that come through? Oh, I heard it. You don't have a signal?
Oh, I do, but I don't have it. It's weird.
Really?
Let me text you using this number and see. Yeah, is it this one that you sent it to?
Yeah, that's all. Let's see. Yeah, that's yep. No, I'll set up a whole new one. Hold on. I believe you.
That's weird. Yeah, is it like a contact card or is it a phone number? Okay, and now I'm lagging. I know what to do.
Well, I don't know why it's not working. Okay, well, bottom line is, let me know. It's today at midnight.
Yeah.
Is your okay? And how much is EMD?
Let me go and see. Wait, go. 2,500.
Oh, is it Texas? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They do both the EMD and that holding.
There's no option fee on this one.
Oh, there isn't? Oh, that's good.
There isn't.
Okay. Well, I'll press him up then for you.
All right.
Do you have any words of wisdom? Anything to tell the Discord? Anything you need to get off your chest?
A lot of things I need to get off my chest. There is this realtor, and there is I need to take like a week-long break from this. My mind is just not in the right place right now.
Yeah? Why?
Well, these realtors are an absolute pain in my pain in my apple.
In your apple is what you meant to say. Good.
Mhm.
That's good. Mm-hmm. You know where you're at.
And the only thing I need from you now is Battleship.
Goodbye, Anson. I've got real people.
No,
I got real people that have real problems.
no, Battleship is a real problem. How do you not see the importance of it?
See ya.
Battleship is a real problem. You need to take into account that this is a real problem that real people are stressing over.
Goodbye.
Oh,
All right,
it's not
Joseph,
fair.
let's cut him off. I'm going to mute him here in a second. There we go. Hey, Joseph. Okay, let's move on from Anson.
When it comes to multifamily, just like your 10, 12 units, what's a good amount in cash flow per door as a reference?
I want anything over 25% cash on cash.
25% cash on cash, but okay. And then I guess you can reverse engineer that by per door.
You just divide it by the door. Well, what are you? Yeah, I mean it's the whole property. You're not just buying one door, so I wouldn't figure anything.
Yeah, so like if a
door.
12 unit, if I'm running the numbers and a 12 unit comes out to like $150 times the 12 comes out to that number as cash flow.
Right.
Is that like low? Is that, or are you just saying basing off the cash on cash return?
Well, yeah, I mean, I want my cash. I want cash flow for an investor to buy things. If they see that they're getting $1,000 cash flow per door, they're not going to say no to buying the deal. You know, but if it's only $100, they're not gonna want that.
So then, if it's a 20 unit, cash flow is $2,000.
If it cash flows $2,000 on a 20 unit,
yeah.
I'm missing what you're saying. Yeah, that's good cash flow. Like if you got cash flow, again, I don't break it down per door. I break it down for the property. You know, there's no reason to break it down per door. First of all, that's more math. Second of all, you're not buying just one door.
Okay, because I was trying to use a single family baseline, like saying, oh, this cash flow is 400 for the single family, but then when you're doing it across like a 15 unit, then I'm wondering if the same rules apply as what I was trying to determine.
Yeah.
But the underlying thing is just the number itself. Oh, this is 5,000 on a 50 unit. Cool.
5,000 on a 50 unit. What are you putting out on a 50 unit? You're probably putting out a $15 million. So you don't want $5,000 on $50 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
here's a good example. Like when we do mobile home parks, we kind of don't care what we are spending because we're making $1.5 million a year in cash flow. So we don't do it by door, but we do in mobile home parks. It's by pad. We do it on the whole thing. So you got to think about it. If the investor has to bring on a $50 million deal, they have to bring 10%. So they're bringing in what, 500,000? No, they're paying. That's a lot of numbers. Is it only $500,000 on a $50 million? No, there's no way. Yeah, so no, they got to bring in $5 million. as they're down. So, and if they're bringing in 5 million and they're getting 2,000 a month in cash flow, I don't want to invest $5 million into 2,000 a month. You know what I mean?
Okay, got it. And then there's in the resources, there's a section where you can do like the whole salesmate process, and it has like the hashtag Yvonne to let her set up your process.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you familiar?
Yeah, she's
so
works with me.
okay, is she like out or something like that? Because we've been communicating since March 9th. It's March 21st, and there's just been no communication, no anything. So I paid her on the 9th, and now it's the 21st, and just like ghost mode.
Hey, Marilyn, can you tell Yvonne to get a hold of Joseph? There you go. Handled.
Okay. And then just one last question is the Richard strategy I heard on a call where he's pursuing I think it's seller financing on cash flowing deals. You said that's advantageous because it's like the checkmate thing, like who are your other options? When you're applying that strategy, you're like fidgeting the numbers to make them work, correct? Because they're outside of the 1% rule.
It's the down payment is what we're doing. Yeah, so that's a little bit outside, but it's the down payment is what's going to allow things to cash flow. Because if we're paying per month less than what it's going to be, basically in that 1% rule. But I mean, that's why we're trying to show them that as it is, it's almost they can't afford their own building because it's not cash flowing, and they're trying to sell it, but it's unsellable because it's got no cash flow. And so in order to
like a DSCR loan, like if I get a 30-year 7% on your property, I don't even make money.
Yeah, even if I had cash, I wouldn't buy it because it won't. I could pay them everything right up front. It's not going to. It's having a hard time cash flowing.
So and then identifying those type of opportunities is because they're outside of the 1% rule. Because when you do the 1% rule and you apply the DCR
they're
loan,
way
9
outside
times out
of
of
them.
10.
Yeah, they're way outside of them. They are negative cash flow.
Okay,
like that. That's what you want.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Because
all right,
where you're changing it is you're lowering the down payment. So right now, if they're paying, their payment is $7,000 a month, and they rents are $5,000 a month. They're losing $2,000 a month. So we're saying, hey, we can help stop the bleeding. You've just got to take money over time. So we're going to come in and we're going to give you a payment of $2,000 a month. So instead of you losing $2,000 a month, you're going to make $2,000 a month, and you lower the payments to that $2,000 a month. Then we can come in and give you a set of payments, but we want it to be a nice long balloon, so we have time to build that up. And hopefully, once that 10-year hits, then we've got a property that is actually back to cash flowing positive. I mean, it will cash flow positive when we step into it, but it'll be worth more in 10 years.
So what you're explaining is a $400,000 property that's bringing in $1,800 a month.
And
that's an opportunity
paying, yeah, let's say they're paying their mortgage is $4,000 a month, so they're behind 1.8 $1,800 each month. They're actually losing money every month, and they're trying to sell it because they're trying to get out of it because they don't want to do that anymore. So we come in and we say, hey, how about this? How about we give you $1,000 a month, and then we can cash flow it. Otherwise, we can't cash flow it. It will never sell if it doesn't cash flow. So they're really up against a wall because they're losing money every month, but we can come in and save them from that. But they just have to wait 10 years for their balloon payment, but we'll pay them that money every year that we've come up with a lower payment for us. Does it make sense?
So are you describing a hybrid or are you describing a seller financing?
No, this is the checkmate.
Okay, because you said they have a mortgage payment, and then you said also a payment.
Right. So we're gonna it can be either way. It's right now they're hurting. They're cash flowing negative. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to get them to take a set of payments that is lower so we can cash flow. Does it make sense?
Okay, and then just to identify those opportunities is they're way outside the 1% rule. And I'm looking at it. Okay,
1% rule, is not a part of this at all. because we're finding them that are negative cash flowing. They have to be negative. So they have to have a building that's worth nothing, but they got to take seller financing for somebody to be able to invest in it. So usually they're paid. I mean, they're right now their rents are less than their expenses. Let's say it that way. So they're losing money, and they want somebody to come in and buy that. Nobody's going to want it, and so the only way that's going to happen, and it's only if they're free and clear. So I confused myself a little bit with the mortgage. I meant more of it's the operating expenses and everything. The taxes is everything. Then because the taxes have gone up so high that they are negative cash flowing every month. You can't sell something like that. Nobody is going to be like, yes, let's do it. But you can if you do seller finance and you drop the payment that you're going to be paying the seller to 25% of what the rents are. Now we can do it. Now you think, well, why would they do that? And it's because they're negative cash flowing. They can't sell it. Even somebody with cash, bringing cash, even a low cash offer would still not even suffice because it would have to be a massively low. But if they're patient and they can wait the 8 to 10 years, then they balloon out.
Okay. All right. So I guess just one last thing, Trent. Connect the dots on what I'm missing right now. How do you even identify what you just described? How am I looking at a lead? Oh, they're not even cash flowing.
Yeah, just go into PropStream and make that one of your filters. Just be like negative equity or negative cash flow. I'm not sure I haven't done those yet because I've been so busy like teaching and doing all that stuff. So I haven't actually done one, but I haven't searched for them yet. But you want to look for ones that negatively cash flow. And so it's almost the opposite of the 1% rule. If the 1% rule applies, just move on. You want to go to ones that are just not cash flowing. They're like you look at it and their rents are $4,000 and the place is $800,000. See, so that's like if it was $8,000 a month, then the 1% rule. But it's opposite of that. Like it's now we want to find ones that are renting for $4,000, and they are an $800,000. So you want to look for properties. Usually, it's going to be fourplexes and better, that are high priced and low rent. Completely counterintuitive. Yeah, it's totally counterintuitive of what we usually do.
Okay, so summarize. You can just use both methods. I can look at a deal and like, oh, this doesn't meet the 1% rule, but it's still a lead. This is the 1% rule, still a lead. So got it. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. I'll let Tyrell and Mitch talk. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay, thanks. All right, Tyrell, what's up? Tyrell. Okay, let me bring people up from the audience. And guys, I'm going to be a hard out at 10 o'clock. I've got one of Bashir's one-on-ones that we're doing for him. So I want to make sure I get to as many people as I can. Becky, I'm going to bring you up. I'm bringing everybody up. I'm going to try to get to you guys. So let's make it quick if we can. All right, Becky. Whoa, where's the headband? No headband today.
No headband today. I've got meetings today. So.
I was going to say, you must have a big meeting.
Yeah, I got lots of client meetings today.
Hey, Becky. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to update Trent on something. I have to jump off because I'm eating food, Trent. But my girlfriend's home eating food. But I made 4 calls and it's going really good. And I'm going to continue and let you know how those go after lunch, okay?
Okay, cool.
Trent, it's
do your
Mitchell.
Thing. Yep, I
inexperienced it. Okay, sorry, Becky. Sorry, guys.
Okay, cool. Okay, Becky.
Okay, so yesterday and today I came across 2 different realtors that have investors with like groups of homes they're trying to get rid of, right?
Okay.
One of them, three of them. One of them has an investor with 3 properties. The other one has 2 properties. When I do the underwriting of these, obviously I'm shooting it for like, hey, I'd love to do a package deal with these, you know, and that's helping me a lot. Seller finance idea. When I send an offer, is it better to send it as a package deal or as individual properties?
I do it both. So I like to show, hey, if we bought each one of these separately, this is what we would offer. But if we do them all at once, then you save, it's going to be 15% less or whatever. You want a volume discount, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, a lot of the, it's so funny. I hear it constantly like, oh, they just want to get rid of them. And I'm like, no, they don't. They want to get paid for them. And so it's like, there's never, so you want to make it more attractive to get them all, but still, your cash on cash still needs to be above 20. So whatever way you can present that to them, you want to present it so it's more advantageous to sell them all than it is one at a time. So low cash offers on all the single ones, and then a tiny bit higher if we do them all. Just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Because we're kind of doing it opposite of what you would usually do with the volume discount, but you want to incentivize them to sell them all. But again, it has to be an amazing deal. Because now we're going to break them apart and we're going to sell them separately.
Okay, I also wanted to ask that, how we're going to do it.
Yep.
Okay. And then my other question was, I'm noticing it's this one specific market that seems to have a lot of investors selling out. Is that like a sign? Should I be like worried about that and not?
Not that I know of. What is it? What state?
It's in Iowa.
Okay. No, I don't. I mean, the only thing is, I mean, there's it's probably based on the economy right now, because everybody's a little bit nervous about the stock market taking a dump. If you have faith in all the changes that are going on, then you have massive faith in all the changes going on. If you don't, you have massive faith that it's not going to go well. And so it could be as simple as Democrats are getting rid of stuff. And so it could be that simple that they're just freaking out and they're sad I mean, when you start listening to people and they say that they don't like the flag anymore because of what it stands for. And so then you're like, okay, these guys are pretty passionate about how mad they are or how happy they are, And so those might be the people that are dumping.
Yep. Okay. I agree.
Okay.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Thanks.
All righty, buddy. Have good meetings.
Thanks.
You look like you're in a power mode, like full on, You ready?
I'm feeling it. You just like so ready to freaking close a deal. Like
I know you are. You're so hungry for it.
every week.
I might have something. Yeah, I might have something coming up. I'm just met with the person for the first time today, but it's a way of searching for deals. But we can do it as a team, and so I want to see I want to see if they're real before I do anything. But it'd be something where it's almost more of a team sport, but everybody would be searching within the same, you'd have your own login. So we'll see. I get about 40 of these a day. So this one was interesting though.
All right, yeah. I think I'm getting like a bunch of good leads. Like I'm having great conversations. Like realtors are excited.
You're having great conversations?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know. Game changer this last month. Yep.
I'm so glad, but it's just not converting.
I'm really focusing on markets, like on smaller markets that people aren't, I'm not going into Texas and getting those harsh realtors. I go into a market and I notice that like 3-4 realtors are just like rude. I'm like moving on.
Exactly. And that's what you got to do when you see there's too much to deal with. Because I feel like a lot of guys, everybody in here, I feel like you guys are like, oh, I can make this work. I'm going to make it fit. And it's like, no, you want the person who's dying tomorrow and they want to just get rid of it for 50% if it's a cash deal, or they're willing to give you take over their loan and they've got $100,000 in equity. Like, it sounds outrageous, but we just did one. Like, we did one of those on Monday, Richard and I. And so the beauty of that is it was a friend of a friend of a friend said this person's leaving and hates her place and did it. So it's those pocket listings. Those are where you want to be. And friends of a friend of a friend is huge. So do social, guys. Like Richard says it all the time, but get on and I mean, that's going to be a whole different level for Becky because I'm sure you hate doing social. Am I right? You're like, no, thanks.
I do calls and I do like you do for Airbnb stuff. I've never tried to do live streaming on social media. Like that would be interesting.
Yeah, but that's where deals will come from too. So they're everywhere. I just want you guys to be way more picky. Go after the things that are outrageous. Offer low prices.
For everybody, but I think a lot of us are treating this like a job and have bills to pay, so
sure,
I don't care what it is, to be honest. If I could make a deal, I'd make a deal. So
well, and that's why this is an idea that I've had because a lot of people do just want, they'd be happy with $1,000. And so if we get a deal that we're not sure about, and because buying, like, if I could pay you guys $1,000 and then sell your deal, and then I deal with 3-4 months of trying to get it sold, I'm trying to figure out a way to make that work so you guys can get faster money, because that really would be super helpful, I think, for every single person in here. So any ideas, I'm willing to hear them.
Yeah, the first couple deals, then I'll get more picky. I got some things to take care of, and then I will be more picky.
I got you. Fair enough.
I just had everyone's got things,
Oh, there's so many things out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get back to it. Thank you.
All righty. You're looking good. Have a good meeting.
Thanks.
All right. See ya. All right. Where are we at? Jazz, what's going on?
All right. So I had a quick question. Have this property.
Okay. We're doing speed rounds so I can get everybody in by 10.
I got
so
you. I got a property that this lady, like a pocket listing, but it's a newer property, 2024 built, and the guy's open to financing. It's been on market for 303 days. So what she told me was that this is the exact word. She said for it to work, they would need a sizable down payment, right? So my thinking is, could I offer that, but on just super, super low monthly payments, or is just not investor friendly at all?
Absolutely.
And as far,
that's great.
And how high?
And you tell them like here's the deal. Like you don't want to go 20%, but we can go 15%. But if the monthly payments are $100 all day,
right,
0% interest.
That was my
thinking.
$100. That was my thinking.
Absolutely.
Like I think
just make sure cash flow.
Right.
Just keep it cash flowing, and have it cash flow at 25%, and then that makes sense for an investor, because they're seeing that they're cash flowing and their return on investment is going to be,
right,
2 years.
So I guess my question would be, it doesn't really matter about the down payment; it just matters of the cash on cash return.
Absolutely, but it's got to be high. If it's going to be, we're not going to offer a 30% down payment. We're just not. It caps out about 15. But when somebody says, I need a large down payment, you say, well, what's that look like? Okay. When you say large down payment, how much are we talking? Because they might have a number. The one I bought in Texas, the guy had a number. He's like, I need $60,000.
Like, we can make that work, but this, right? That could work, but this, basically, right? That could work, but this, it has to be blah, blah, blah. I got you. I know that. Appreciate you. So I had to answer.
All right. Yeah, go for it. Just 1 second. I've got somebody saying something's just an emergency. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right, I'm taking you off so I can stay organized here. I lost my mouse. Anybody lose it? There we go. Okay. Reagan. Oh, come on. Regamentance. How do you say it?
Yeah, that's me. It's Regenic Mantis. It's when I was a kid and had one of these.
I love that we get stuck with decisions we made when we were young. Like mine is you talking to me? So it's like has nothing to do with anything. What's going on?
So I just started like maybe a week ago, and
Let's get you on the phone calling realtors.
I already
That's
got
my
on
answer.
the phone with one. I've been talking to her for like 2 or 3 days.
One.
I'm trying to.
I want you to call
work my way
20.
into this so I can understand everything.
I'm going to make it easier. You're going to call realtors, and you're going to call 20 of them. Okay, and Mitch is even doing it right now. I want you to call realtors, and I want you to call 20 of them on any property. I don't care what the property is. You're going to build you're just going to build understanding what realtors are going to ask you. If they say a word that you don't understand, you say, "Oh, I'm new to this. What's that mean?" Okay. And you're just going to get on the phone today and call 20 realtors and find out. The only thing you need to find out is the motivation of why they're selling their property. That's it. That's super simple. You need zero skills to do that.
Yeah.
But you're going to learn so much, and you're going to get rid of the jitters of making phone calls. Because I want you to call as many people as possible in this method, just to get some idea of what because it's like what's behind that door kind of a thing. Like I don't want to go behind that door. There might be a monster. We don't know it's there. I want you to just get there. Go in and just chat, fail, and you're gonna work a cadence that you're gonna be able to use once we're actually doing deals. And so this one, you're not offering numbers or anything. The only thing you're gonna ask for is the motivation, and you can even ask them if they have any deals that are really crazy good that you could work into. You can just say you're a new investor. This is your very first time doing any of this stuff. So you can even warn them, like, be ready. I'm going to say dumb things because I'm brand new into this, and I'm trying to be a deal finder for people, or just say that you're trying to be. Yeah, just say you're new. I mean, it's easy. It's what you are. You don't have to hide it. They're going to know either way because they're going to listen to what you're talking about, and they're going to be like, "Oh boy, we got one of these wholesalers that's just trying to make some money."
Okay. Well, then I've already messed up this entire thing.
Nope, you haven't.
I started talking to
don't
one.
worry about it. They don't know each other.
What's it called? Pricing and stuff. And then she sent me to her, like a consultant, which I don't know what any of that means. So I don't know really where to go from there. I told her like I was trying to get through the deal.
Exactly what I'm telling you. That's why I want you to call. Just call and call and call, and don't worry about any results right now. The only result I want you to get is rapport and why the seller's selling. That's it. Okay. You can do that, right?
Yeah, I can do that. That's easy.
Right. That's my whole point. So get through those first 20. And so succeed there, I'll get you to the next level. I'm here every morning, 8 to 10, except for Sundays.
Okay.
All right?
Alrighty.
I know I shut you down pretty quick. Was there any other questions you had?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You'll be blown away. You're gonna be like, that sounds so stupid. And then around call 14, you're gonna be like, holy crap, I get it. This is all making sense. Okay. Don't be afraid to tell them you're new, that you don't know what you're doing. That's the greatest thing you can do, because everybody's gonna. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, bro. Go after it.
All right.
Sorry,
Thank you.
guys. I got to look at this. You're welcome. Absolutely. Hang on 2 seconds, guys. We got a meeting that's coming up, and that's why I just need some prep real quick. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Warren, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's going on?
Perfect. Hey, I've been well, I'm a realtor here in Houston, Texas. But
Okay.
I've been knew a little bit about, seller financing, subject to, and things of that nature. So I started doing more of these offers for seller financing. I have a couple leads right now that I've gotten, and I've been in the Discord since the 14th. I've submitted maybe probably 70 plus offers so far.
Wow.
There's one deal I have right now. It is a condo in Houston.
Good.
There was listed for like 80. They went down to 65. Seller financing told me 72.8. And it was less than 10% down. They came back and they agreed to all my terms, but the only thing they didn't agree on was the down payment. They wanted $15K down, and I didn't know if that would be a good deal or not. I mean, I think I went to the numbers yesterday, and it was like,
so 10% would be $7,000.
Yeah.
So you're right around 13%. Is that right?
Yeah.
Again, does it cash flow? Like, will it cash flow? How much?
Let's see. Oh, dang. One moment, because I don't have that number in front of me.
Okay. Have you given them a monthly price of what you can offer?
The first monthly price came out to $300 something, and then they wanted $15K down. So when I re-put the information into Hold My Hand, it went down to $100 something. So I didn't resubmit that counter. But it was more than $1,000 a month for rent. So when I did the deal calculator in the Discord, it came out to like 33.7% cash on cash return.
Okay. Good.
So
here's what I would do. I would say the only way I can get to that down payment is give you $100 a month. But again, keep in mind you're going to balloon out in 8 years. What'd you give them as a balloon? I always like to go 10. Huh? No balloon.
No balloon.
Oh, delicious. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I have a lot of deals right now. I'm working on since the 14th. I have like 4 or 5 I'm working on, and
great.
2 of them came back today. They said they agreed to all terms, but they want a 5-year balloon. That was going to be my second question. I don't know if I've heard some people say 7.
It's got to be at least 6. It's got to be at least 6. I go for 10, but you went unlimited, which is insane. I don't know why they would ever do that. But if you're paying $100 a month, that's 17,000. Is that what they want? 17, 15,
15,000 down
all day. I'd do that deal all day long.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I might even be a buyer for that one. If you can get it to 100, the payment $100 a month. And then your PIT, I would probably put it to like 600 total, right? And what's the rents on it?
I think it's 1,000 plus. I want to say 1,100, but I have to look again at the numbers.
Okay. Yeah, find that out and DM me. Let's look into it because that's a great deal. That's great for a first time investor that has 15 grand, and so we can find that in the Discord, no problem.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I also tell you about the other ones too, like in the DM? Because I have like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, send those to me. Just because I'm running up against the clock right now, but
Gotcha.
for sure.
Gotcha. All right, thanks so
Send those
much.
to me. Let me. Okay, Warren. Thanks so much. All right, let's see. Hi guys. Okay, let's. I've got to find somebody I haven't talked to for a while just to make sure that. Okay, who thinks they have the most important thing to tell me or ask? Okay, Sky. Sky the dead fluff is waving his hands. He's freaking out. You'll go next.
Okay, cool.
What's up?
I'll make it quick. So pretty much the deal that I have about to be under contract. The only bottleneck is buy box won't go over 3K EMD, but 1% of the ignore them.
Ignore buy box. It's way too high sometimes. So tell me what your numbers are real quick.
Okay, 430 purchase price, 39.75 rent, 3, I believe, 79 insurance, 137 taxes. The offer was 45 amortization, 4.47 interest rate.
What's the payment per month?
Payment is $1,665.
Okay. We'll call it 1,600. And so, and what's the down? You said?
43, 10%.
10%, great. Yeah. What? I think you're going to be pretty good. What's your PITI?
I'd have to check my computer. I'm outside now, but
okay.
I know that it's $1,665 monthly payment to them, $379 insurance and $137 taxes.
Okay. No, I don't think you're in a bad spot. 43,000.
Yeah.
What's the cash flow?
I have to check my computer for that, to be honest. I think it's like maybe $1,700 a month.
Okay, that's excellent. Yeah, that's a sellable deal for sure.
The only thing is that when I was trying to go through buy box, they kept saying 3K EMD was the max, and that's all that they could do.
No,
that's the only bottleneck.
Okay, so the EMD is earnest money deposit for everybody that's saying, what's EMD? You're in Texas, is that correct?
This is in Michigan.
Michigan, okay. So that $3,000 is not a problem as far as an EMD because just make sure you get a 15 business days inspection period.
I got 10 business days.
10 business days is great. I'll deal with that. Yeah, you got plenty of time to try to sell it. Yeah, I think you're in a great spot.
Okay, so I can offer them 4,300 EMD and go through you?
4,300?
How would I do this?
Where did we go to 43?
Because that's what the people want is the 4,300, but buy box is only offering 3,000 EMD.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, just let them know for 4,300, it's after inspection. Okay. And the inspection period has got to be 15 days, 15 business days for that, because we need to make sure that we're not stuck and that we get an inspector in there. We'll try to do it faster. But that's the time where we sell the property. Okay. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. So they said I would have to get a state approved contract and sign myself if I wanted to go 4,300 EMD. So is that what we should do and go for 15 business day?
Yeah, but tell them like the EMD has got to be after inspection.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. And it's assignable?
Yeah.
Okay.
They know that we're wholesaling and everything like that, and they're
they do know.
Fine with it.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, we can make all that work. Just put it through my my student help for him. I'll put that in the. We'll put that in the chat.
I am already JVing with somebody on this, so would you take the place of Hold My Hand Wholesales deal? Like the
Oh, you already who you JVing with?
My partner Angus. I found him in the chat, and he like finds deals and runs numbers and stuff, and we just split.
Yeah, we can push it through, but the way we do it is, I mean, we can figure it out, but it would be you guys as a team, me as a team, and then Grandin Taylor as they're going to sell it for you, so they get their 40%. So it'd be a 40-60 split, and then we would split the 60, you and your JV, and then me.
It's 120.
But we can probably.
Okay.
No, it would be 30, 30, and then you guys decide. Well, you know, let me look at it. If I feel like it's a super great deal and I can for sure sell it, I can negotiate it.
So you're selling it, or Hold My Hand Wholesale selling it?
Hold My Hand will sell it. That's their 40%, but I'm gonna push it through their back end. Another way, I mean, if you guys want to, just push it right through their back end. A lot of people on their first deals don't really know what they're doing, and so a lot of times they miss deadlines. So I always offer to JV for your first one or your second one, but at that point, yeah, I'm teaching you how to do it on your own. So I'll be involved with it and my team.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to JV again because my fee's already small. I was just offering.
Okay. Just push it right through. They're going to deny it because of the 3,000 EMP.
Yeah.
So
all right,
go ahead and push it through and see what happens.
One more thing, you said something about you would pay us a few thousand and then we would give you the contract and sell it. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. So that's something that's works in my brain. But okay. Yeah, we'll talk later about it for sure. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
All
okay,
right,
I think Christian was the other one. Oh, he's out. Ryan, what's going on?
Hey Trent, thanks for bringing me up. I DM'd you an address. I offered a seller finance arrangement to a house in DC.
2 seconds.
And
let me grab my water real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, let me look at it. I've got to leave. Oh, I'm gonna get. You know what? Do me a favor. Let me. I'm gonna get a hold of you a little bit later, Ryan, and help you out. But this is.
I put the details in that message anyway. So I guess what I'm really looking to know is, do I need to extend the balloon to longer, or just make the purchase price lower and make the deal work somehow?
What is the balloon right now?
550.
5 years?
8-year balloon.
8 years, great.
Yeah. But
I love that.
I just don't know if the appreciation's strong enough. I mean, it says that it's 6% online, but I factored for 4.5. It's a $1.2 million house, and I offered 1.35 with payments. And then when I found out they had a mortgage, I took away the payments. So I'm just trying to recraft it for a hybrid.
What did they? Okay, yeah, that's going to take some time. Okay, I'll look at it, and I will get back to you on that one for sure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay. Also, I'm back here tomorrow, guys, 8 to 10. And the beauty on Saturdays is sometimes I can go longer, but Bashir has been booking me on a ton of one-on-one calls. I don't usually do one-on-ones, guys, but Bashir has found himself in a sticky situation, and so I'm donating. It's going to be $50 per one-on-one right to Bashir. I'm not taking any of it. It's all going to him to help him get back on his feet. So if you guys want to do one-on-ones, I'll even extend it to Sunday, probably Sunday afternoon, and we can do one-on-ones there. So Brian, I will check this out. I've got meetings for the rest of the day, so I'll probably reach out to you late. What's your, where do you live?
I'm in Detroit. Yeah, I just moved back from LA.
Okay. All right, cool. I will reach out to you later on.
Cool. Thank you so much.
All right, bro. Take it easy. Hey, guys, I'm so sorry. I usually don't book myself like this back to back to back to back, but I've got to go. But tomorrow, 8 to 10, I'm here. Also, if you want to book a one-on-one with me, reach out to Bashir Johnson. I think he's in the chat, and he will book it. I will extend. I usually never work on Sundays, but we're getting a lot of people that need some help, so I'm happy to extend to Sundays. Okay, Bashir, I'm going to take off, but if you want to come up real quick, I'll get you up here so you can pitch it and tell people what you need. But I've got to go. I'm sorry. So there's Bashir. And yeah, Bashir, you can go to Sunday and you can go till 11 p.m. Because we've got all these back to back today, and I've got an important meeting with Richard right now. And then Bashir, that we got to switch that 12 to 1 as well because we're doing a follow up. All right, I'm out. See you.